Since morning, I've been getting questions from the fans of Arsenal in the comment section, in the group, WhatsApp group, and so on and so forth on TikTok, asking me about where has the Eberechi as a deal to Arsenal reached. And I'm here to present you this story that we have from Steve in there, who says that Eberechi is in, Leandro Trossard out. And then Heung-min, one of those players that have been so deadly into all in the North London derby, has finally left the side of Spurs. It's a here we go announced yesterday. And lastly, we are going to be tackling a story of Hato excited after training with Chelsea on Monday. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I and Arsenal fans are really hugely excited because after getting in Victor Gyökeres, they're looking forward to welcoming in another player who goes by the names of Eberechi. But Arsenal are really working tooth and nail to obviously get in Eberechi, and they want to see to it that this deal obviously comes to pass as soon as possible. And they are really doing lots of things to see to it that this deal really comes to pass. And guess what? One of the things that Arsenal is going to hate to do or is considering to do has been revealed to us by Steve K in here, and it reads that Brentford have approached Leandro Trossard's camp over a summer move. Arteta wants him to stay, and the Belgian is happy at Arsenal. Arsenal have offered a new contract, but a transfer isn't ruled out if the right offer comes in through. So, Brentford has been the first team to obviously come on the table to obviously discuss on the table of men on whether they obviously get Leandro Trossard or not. And for Leandro Trossard, he's leaving the club of Arsenal because he feels like he's not being pampered. He's not being pampered, and Arsenal is not really doing the due diligence to see to it that they obviously keep the player around by really promising him what we call heaven and earth. That is it. Because at his age, he wants to be playing more. He feels like he's the right guy, you understand? And obviously, things should obviously go their way. Now, apart from the side known as Brentford having interest in Leandro Trossard, who Arsenal offering a new contract, and he's really hesitant to obviously put pen to paper, is we've gone ahead to get in a story from the same guy known as Steve K. And Crystal Palace are like, all right, the release clause came to an end, all came to a stop, and we can obviously negotiate on freshy terms. And Steve K told us that Crystal Palace are eyeing Leandro Trossard, Arsenal's Leandro Trossard, as a potential replacement for Eberechi, who is a top target for the Gunners, as per Steve K. While a swap deal was speculated, any move for Trossard would likely be separate for accounting purposes. Now, you see to it that Brentford is in for the player and Crystal Palace is in for the player known as Leandro Trossard. So, for Crystal Palace, I think they want to use this Eberechi as interest from Arsenal to obviously come up with a best offer, to tell Arsenal that we are selling Eberechi as to you, but promise us that you are also going to reciprocate the love by obviously getting us a player known as Trossard. But in this, these are supposed to be two different deals for the accounting processes. How does the accounting process come in through into a deal like this? For Brentford, they not eat that if they sell Eberechi for like £55 million, they would have gone ahead to make a profit of close to £36 million because they got in this player for £19 million from Reading. You understand? So, as it stands, they would want that money to reflect on their account, and it will help them a lot when it comes to balancing their books as far as the financial fair play is really concerned. You understand? So, that's why they want this money to reflect on the account, and they want these two deals to be held differently. That's what you're really getting in through from the side of Steve K. And they want Arsenal to obviously get in Eberechi Eze first. And after Arsenal paying £55 million, because that's the amount of money that we are told yesterday by Jacobs Ben that the side of Arsenal is willing to pay after the release clause of £68 million came to an end. And £55 million, then when £55 million is paid to the side of Crystal Palace, now they'll obviously negotiate a deal of Leandro Trossard, and they want Arsenal to give them an assurance that they won't listen to any offers from any other clubs after they get in Eberechi Eze. You understand? Because Brentford, a club that is in huge interest of Leandro Trossard, has done some good business with Arsenal for a player known as David Raya, and they do have a very good working relationship, and Crystal Palace is very, very considerate for that. But Palace also knows to it that they don't have any player they want from Brentford. Mbeumo, who would have gone here to be that player, said no to Arsenal, and he was like, I'm going to Man United. You understand? So Crystal Palace are really firm, and they want a deal of Trossard to be done separate. You know, they don't want it to be part of the negotiation that sees Eberechi Eze crosses from Crystal Palace to the side of Arsenal. So, and Arsenal are also really doing the needful because they want exits first to obviously finance the remaining deals that they're really looking to obviously get in, like the one that I'm gonna here to just take you about. The deal of a player known as, what's his name? You know, Jeremy Jacket, you know, a 20-year-old defender that Arsenal is looking at. So that's what you're really having in through from the side of Eberechi Eze and Leandro Trossard. Arsenal hugely interested in Eberechi Eze. Brentford and Crystal Palace hugely interested in Leandro Trossard. Now, where do you think Trossard will be playing next season? I leave that over to you. But keep it in mind that Arsenal wants Trossard to stay, you know, and Trossard is happy at Arsenal. And Arsenal have offered a new contract to the player, but the transfer isn't ruled out. You understand? So, you really have to ask yourself, where is Trossard going to be playing next? But I've already told you and gave you my word that on any day, I keep Leandro Trossard and I let a player known as Martinelli go, because I don't see Martinelli obviously going or hitting those levels that everyone thinks will obviously hit. Because when you look at Martinelli as a player, he is now, how many years old? Martinelli is now 24 years of age. You understand? He's left just with 1 year to hit his prime, almost. Next season, he would have gone ahead to hit his prime. Now, do you expect this lad to obviously put in the required shift all together to see to it that he brings the best of him at Arsenal? I don't think so. If I'm Arsenal, I would have gone ahead to let the lad live in peace and obviously find out what I'll be doing next. If I was Arsenal, that's what I would have gone ahead to do. You know, because Bayern were willing to obviously pay close to 55 million euros. And if you really get that for Martinelli, I think it's really huge. But Arteta is an admirer of this guy, but I know he's obviously going to disappoint you as the style of play doesn't suit him. If Martinelli was playing for a club like Man United, you know, for a club like Newcastle, for a club like Real Madrid, he would have gone here to thrive in there. Do you know why? Those clubs thrive on pace. You understand? They want players with pace up front the pitch. But at Arsenal, that's not how they play. You know, instead of releasing him on time, Arsenal does more extra passes that obviously see to it that his spaces where he would have gone ahead to run are really closed down. You understand? So that is the side of Martinelli, and that's my reservation for him. And I'm not saying that he's not a good player. He's a good player, but the system of Arsenal is not obviously going to help him really thrive, as he thrives on pace. Unless otherwise you're telling me that Arteta is going to change his entire playing system to obviously favor Gabriel Martinelli, something that I believe he's not obviously willing to. The coming in through of Victor Gyökeres is where Arsenal is focusing at. They're looking at Victor Gyökeres and how they are going to really make him better in that system. You understand? I stand to be corrected. I stand to be proven wrong if Martinelli ever really thrives. And for Trossard, why Arsenal want him to stay? Ever since Trossard came in through, he has really given out more stats and performances than Gabriel Martinelli. So we leave it at that, and let's go to the rivals of Arsenal who go by the names of Tottenham Hotspur. Very big player has gone ahead to leave Spurs, and he goes by the names of Son Heung-min. Son Heung-min has left the side of Spurs, and Son Heung-min to Los Angeles FC. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place between all parties. Son ready to complete his move to MLS, with Spurs due to receive fee in excess of 15 million euros. Son didn't travel back to UK with Spurs squad after he's waiting for documents to be signed. So, Son Heung-min, I repeat it, Son Heung-min has left Tottenham Hotspur. That is it. He has left the club, and he really loves the club so much. But I think at his age, he went ahead to obviously make a very wise decision, because you can't be like Son Heung-min and you still stay at the side like Spurs. You know, Saudi Pro League teams were interested in him, and went ahead and obviously make a very huge decision on where he should be playing next. And we finally got where the lad is going. LA, that's where he is, and he really joins the queue of very many superstars who have gone ahead to join the LMS. Lionel Messi, you know, Luis Suarez, Busquets, Jordi Alba. You can talk about players like which other players in the LMS, you know? Son Heung-min joins those, and those that have left, the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the likes of David Beckham, they've gone ahead to play that side, and very many others. So it's really good move for him. He's obviously going to be getting in some money, and one will ask, why has he chosen the side of LMS over the Saudi Pro League? Saudi Pro League, they'll obviously give you money, but LMS, they even get you shares. Like for David Beckham, he never got his hard cash and bought shares in Inter Miami. Never did he. But in the deal he negotiated when he was, I think, coming from AC Milan to go to the MLS, he was like, can you get me some shares in that club? You know, and because they wanted to obviously bluster the game of football in the US, they obviously had to do it. And you see to it that right now, he's really one of the shareholders in the MLS. He's not the majority shareholder, but his shares in that club really mean a lot to everyone who has gone ahead to obviously know about David Beckham. So Son Heung-min has left the side of Spurs, and he said goodbye to Tottenham Hotspur for the very last time, and he was set to leave. And that was on the 3rd. That's when he obviously said bye-bye to his fellow players of Spurs. So that is Son Heung-min for you. And there are some statements I'm really looking for in here that Son Heung-min went ahead to make before he obviously found himself in a situation of really telling the world that he is leaving Spurs. And I tell you what, it was the right time for him to leave Spurs, because I don't really find anything that Son Heung-min is obviously going to do, because his curve is not on the rise. It's on its descendancy. It's not ascending. So he was really right to obviously make a decision like that. And I think very many people are really in support for what Son Heung-min went ahead to obviously do. So we wait and see how things pan out for Son Heung-min, but he decided to leave Spurs on the 2nd. And one of the statements that he really made when he confirmed to the people that he's really leaving were as follows. Son Heung-min, he said, I have asked to leave Spurs. My decision has been made. I did my best there. Sorry, I did my best here, and I need a fresh new challenge now. It's the most difficult decision of my life. I came to North London as a kid. I leave as a young man. That's what he went ahead to say. Then he obviously added and said, I came to North London as a kid, a boy who couldn't speak English. I leave this club as a young man. Thanks to all the Spurs fans who have given me so much love. That's what Son Heung-min came up and really said about his move to Los Angeles FC in the US. He's going to the LA. That's where he's obviously going to be playing next. And I know he'll obviously thrive in there because he still has that energy. And I know most of the players who are really aging are going to the Saudi Pro League and the LMS because they want to reserve energy for the FIFA Club World Cup. Sorry, for the FIFA World Cup that is coming in through next year. You understand? You see Messi at the at Inter Miami, the LMS, Ronaldo there in Saudi Pro League. They're really doing the needful to see to it that all goes on well as planned. So we wait and see how things really pan out for the side of Son Heung-min. We wish him the best. We really have lots of memories about him, though he went ahead to obviously beat the sides that we've gone ahead to obviously face. Sorry, though he went ahead to beat the teams that we've gone ahead to support in the Premier League. You know that very well. He was really an assassin and a force to reckon with. And there is no way he would obviously find yourself in a position of really getting the best of the best for this guy. So that is it from Eberechi Eze. Sorry, that is it from Son Heung-min, and let's obviously head to Jarell Hato in there. Now, Jarell Hato was unveiled, and yesterday I brought a story about him when he was really excited to play for the club, to sign for the club of Chelsea, and why he chose Chelsea over other clubs. Now, he has told us that Jarell Hato, on training with Chelsea on Monday, he said, I'm very excited. I'm so happy to be here. I thought a lot about my future and wanted to take the next step in my career. Chelsea is the best place for me to do that. So I'm really very, very happy. That is the side of Chelsea. That's the child of Jarell Hato for you, a player that signed for Chelsea. And I'm 100% sure he's going to be among the players or the squad of Chelsea that is going to be playing on the 8th of August at the Stamford Bridge. They're obviously going to be playing against Erik ten Hag's Bayern Leverkusen. What a game that we have to watch as Erik ten Hag returns to England. He was sacked in 2020. He was sacked in 2024 by Manchester United, and he returns to face a side known as Chelsea in there. And the other game that we believe Jarell Hato will be part of, Chelsea again on the 10th, will be playing against Milan. But the manager of Chelsea might obviously get out two squads because playing the same team in a space of 2 days won't obviously make sense for him. But you never know. Having gone ahead to play in the FIFA Club World Cup, maybe players returned on Monday, on Monday this week, that is today. We wait to see how things really pan out for these players. But Jarell Hato is a blue and is a Chelsea player waiting to obviously showcase exactly what he really has for this club of Chelsea. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rokani David is my name always. I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below. About one, Eberechi in and Trossard out. Do you think that will obviously work? It's not a swap deal. These are two deals that are going to be worked on differently, as we've been told by Steve K. Secondly, what are your thoughts about Son Heung-min leaving the side of Spurs and joining the MLS? That is the LAFC. He's going to be playing in LA. That is it. What do you make about it? And lastly, I'm calling upon for your reactions into the comment section below about Jarell Hato, excited to train with Chelsea, and that is today. And do you think he'll be ready to play in the games of Chelsea? They're going to be playing against AC Milan, Bayern Leverkusen on the 10th of this month and 8th of this month, respectively. Guys, we call it a video, and I'm going to be uploading it Second video of the day, premiering onto the Rokani Media Football. We out, bye-bye, and see you in the next 1 or 2 hours with another big banger video. Maybe a live stream will obviously come in through.